and I'll call the meeting to order.
Yep, I'm recording it right now, Mr. Chair. So,
Okay, thank you. So I'll call to order the November 17th, 2020 meeting of the White Bear Lake Conservation District Board. We have a quorum and we've been called to order. So we're on to item 3, which is approval of tonight's agenda. And would anybody like to see any adjustments to the agenda for tonight?
No.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, Alan, will you call the vote, please?
I certainly will, Mr. Chair.
Aye.
Mr. Paranto,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
Cameron,
Sorry, unmute button. Aye.
gotcha. I'm used to the delay, Cam. I appreciate the mute, but yeah. Anyway, I'll try to keep this as the order, so as we take votes, this will be just how it works. Scott O'Connor
Aye.
and Scott Costello
Aye.
and Susie.
Aye.
All right, you have an agenda, sir.
Okay, thank you. So the next item on the agenda is the approval of the October meeting minutes. And does anybody have any adjustments to those minutes?
I have a correction to the minutes. Number 6 under new business, it says that we did 6 treatments, but we didn't. We did 1 treatment, but we did 6 treatment areas totaling 12.17 acres. So it should read we did 6 treatment areas totaling 12.17 acres.
1 treatment, 6 areas.
Yeah, you don't really need to say 1 treatment, but you can say 6 treatment areas totaling
I assume
12.7.
Kim's got that.
That's it.
Kim, is that good?
She's on mute.
Yep, okay.
Sorry about that. Yes, yes.
Okay, good.
Thank you, Mike, for letting me know.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, I will make a motion to approve the October meeting minutes.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, Alan, will you call the vote, please?
Yes, sir. Same order. Brian,
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
Cameron,
Aye.
Scott O'Connor,
Aye.
Scott Costello,
Aye.
and Miss Susie.
Aye.
All right, you have amended minutes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Next item on the agenda, public comments for items that aren't on the agenda. And anybody waiting to take advantage of that time?
Well, Mr. Chair, I have a Bob Gillen, or at least that's what shows up in the screen that I'm managing. I don't know if that person doesn't, their mic is live. I don't know if they have a public comment or if they're here for another purpose, but that's the only non-staff or board member on the meeting right now.
Okay, so Mr. Gillen, do you have anything for this 15 minutes of public comment time? Okay, I'll take that as a no, and
Excuse
we'll move
me.
on.
Mr. Gillen did let me know prior that he did have something for this comment area. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I don't
So-
know what it is, but,
Okay, so I'll just be patient. Hey, Kim?
okay, yeah.
And Mr. Gillen, the floor is yours.
Yeah, his mic is live, so it should be easy.
Bob, can you just start talking?
Maybe he's having mic issues.
Yeah, if he wants to come back in, I'm sure that you can, Mr. Gillen, if he wants to put a chat down in the corner, he can certainly send something to myself or to you, Brian.
Yes, agreed. And I think that what we'll do is we'll move along, but Mr. Gillen, if you figure things out on your end, feel free to chime in. Okay, so we'll move on to new business.
I see he's got a chat there. Hello. Well, he can type what he wants to say and we can maybe cover new business.
Yeah, so there's nothing under new business. So we can,
Apparently he doesn't have a mic on his laptop, but
yeah, Bob, do you have a question that you could type out for us? Sounds good.
and the mic just might be turned down. Normally, when you test the audio on these things, it wouldn't say that he had an unmuted mic if he didn't have a mic at all. But anyway.
Okay.
Everyone see that from him?
Yeah, large jelly-like substance.
I don't.
Are they in any particular area, Bob, or just randomly around the lake? So Bob, oh yeah. Okay, Spees' Landing. Does anybody else on the board, have you noticed anything like these jelly-like substances? And Bob, one more question. How big are they generally? Are they like a foot in diameter or larger or smaller? Oh, wow.
100 feet?
Wow.
Yeah, are those underwater typically? Because I think I know what he's talking about, like little green clouds of like mildew or something like that, I think is.
Yeah, so
probably
there's
what it is. Yeah.
a yes. Could it be dying algae, something like that, or?
Or filamentous algae.
Well, McComas had mentioned filamentous algae, and when we were out checking for milfoil, we saw a lot of it. It just comes by reason of having clear water and having the zebra mussels kind of readjusting what algae is available in the lake. It's not a detriment to the lake at all, but it does happen. But usually it dies down in the fall. I saw it a lot in the spring, but not so much recently. So I don't know how recent Mr. Gillen saw it.
Yeah, and that sounds great, Bob. You know, if you want to come back to us. Now, just one thing for your information is we don't meet in December, but we'll meet again in January. Does that work for you to come back to our January meeting? Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Bob.
Yeah, I was just gonna say filamentous algae is either green when it's living or, you know, if it's dying back, it's kind of brown. But it's like big globs
Sure.
that can
Okay.
actually be tens of feet.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. We have a lot of it in our pond and we have lake management treat it when it appears. And then it gets kind of greasy and brown and dead. I mean, it doesn't disappear right away.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll move on to new business again. No new business. Unfinished business, continued discussion of the commercial bay study. So that was taken back, or that was left in the hands of the executive committee. The executive committee didn't meet this last month, so there's been no progress on that. So we'll try to bring that back up after the first of the year.
Yeah, I think it needs some work to figure out. It's, you know, we've got enough input, I think, but it needs to be turned into a form where we can actually send it out sort of as an RFP or something. And that takes a fair amount of work right there. To be clear, we know if we're going to hire somebody to do this, we have to be able to ask what we want.
Agreed. Yep.
You might get
So-
some mileage by asking the Minnetonka district or some of the other ones if there's groups that specialize, since it's been so long since you've had one done. Just to invite to do the, well, what would you measure sort of a question.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay. So we'll move on to next item, reports, action items. First item is executive committee, and as I just mentioned, no executive committee meeting this month. So we're on to the Lake Quality Committee. Mike?
Well, lake quality. The lake level today is 924.2. The lake level last month was 924.2. So there's been no change, although during the month it went up and down, but from this day to last month's meeting, it's the same. The lake temperature was 47 last month, and it's 38 degrees today, getting colder. But last year it was 34 degrees at our November meeting time. And it froze on December 2nd last year, so it's a little bit warmer right now. And we've got 50 degrees predicted for Thursday. We got 40s going into next week. So I'm going to have to retract my statement saying that we'll probably have ice by Thanksgiving, because I don't think we
I
will.
don't think so.
You might be water skiing this year.
I might be water skiing. There is somebody John Redpath still has his boat in the water. And he has been water skiing. So it's a possibility, but I doubt it. I think I'm done.
As soon as
Not
I
only-
see Wolgamott, I'll join him.
Yeah, I'm done with my report too.
Okay, any questions for Mike? Okay, thank you, Mike. Lake Utilization Committee, Mark was called out of town, and so that committee meeting was canceled for the month. And so we're on to the Lake Education Committee. Scott?
Yeah, really nothing to report, though just question about Lake Utilization Committee. I mean, we must have a bunch of applications in.
True.
Do
We've
we
got a
have,
few.
do we have any problem not doing, holding those out to January?
You know, it's a good question, and I think what we should do is let's leave that with Kim to talk with Mark about, and just make sure all is well to wait till January. And if there's not, then, you know, we always have the option of having something special in December.
Okay.
So far, the ones I have, there's no problem.
Yeah. Education Committee, I don't have anything. I don't know if Cam or Susie has anything that they've been working on.
No.
Okay,
Nothing over here.
okay, thank you. Treasurer's report, Diane?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Treasurer's report for November 2020. I'd like to make a motion to accept checks 4668 through 4675.
I'll second that.
And we have a motion and a second to approve checks 4668 to 4675. Any discussion?
Yes, on the check for Steve McComas for the survey, it should come under account number 6036.
We will change that. Thanks for pointing that out. 6046.
6036.
And Mike, that's check 4672.
I don't have that in front of me
Oh,
right.
sorry. Okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay, and I'm sorry, what did that go to again?
6036.
All right, thank you.
Account number 6036. It should be charged to. And then it also should be changed on the P&L statement too.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second, and is that changed? Is that acceptable to the motion and the second?
Yes.
Okay, so any further discussion? Okay, Alan, will you call the vote, please?
I will, sir. Mr. Chair.
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
Cameron,
Aye.
Scott O,
Yeah, aye.
Scott C,
Aye.
and Susie.
Aye.
You have a past treasurer's report, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. And Diane?
There's a estimated treasurer's report for 2020. Since we don't meet in December, I just kind of put out a estimate. And I just need permission to be able to pay bills at the end of December. So I'd like to make a motion to pay December bills, and I will send all board members a complete December 2020 treasurer's report when that is finished.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to pay our December bills and then follow up with the treasurer's report for those. Is there any discussion? Okay, I'm sorry, Alan, will you call the vote, please?
Yes, sir. Mr. Chair.
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
Cameron,
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
Susie.
Aye.
You have pre-passed your paying of bills for December, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Diane, anything else?
No, thank you.
Okay, any questions for Diane? Okay, thank you, Diane. And we're on to the next item, the board council report. Alan?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. In looking at things from Ramsey and Washington, of course, it gets pretty slow when the things start to wind down on the lake. Our conservation officer has been more concerned with hunting season than fishing and boating violations. So I did have a long conversation with him yesterday, and we're going to be coordinating essentially a snowmobile and DUI intensive, I guess you could say, enforcement once hunting season winds down. And so I know he was going to reach out to Ramsey County, and just based on demographics and what I've seen, I'm going to essentially coordinate a meeting with the sheriff in Washington County, who I think would probably be a better match for that kind of targeted enforcement. And so expect to see some extra action this year on the lake as it freezes out. So
Is he gonna like go after ice fishermen, or what's the plan?
well, I think it's more about targeting drunken driving, checking licenses, and snowmobile enforcement, things like that.
Okay, any questions for Alan?
That's not our budget, is it, Alan?
No, that's part of what Ryan came down from, essentially the Brainerd area, and he is our sort of assigned area conservation officer. So he's a full-time member of the DNR's enforcement staff, and so he works independent of any budgeting that we do. So this isn't coming out of anything that has to be paid for out of district funds.
Okay, Alan, anything else?
Nope, I just say that it's nice to get the attention. So Ryan's a super good guy to work with, and very excited about Law and Order. So I think he did a nice job of being a presence on the lake this summer and keeping things at a dull roar for a lake that's really coming back in terms of use. So it was a nice season to have him out there.
Okay, any other questions for Alan? Okay, thank you, Alan.
Yep, thanks.
Next item on the agenda, announcements. Kim?
I don't have anything. No.
Okay, thank you. So we're on to item 10, an adjournment. And before we get to that, I would just like to say that if y'all could keep your eye out for ice in. So when we think the ice cover comes in, and then we can have that discussion in January at our meeting. That would be great. And also thank you everyone for making time to be at the meeting tonight. I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Is there any discussion? Okay, Alan, will you call the vote, please?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair.
Aye.
Mike,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
Cameron,
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
Susie.
Aye.
You have an adjourned meeting, Mr. Chair. I will save the
Okay,
recording.
again, thanks everyone. Have a safe.
Have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stay healthy.
Happy
Okay,
New
thank-
Year too.
Yeah, everyone be safe, I guess.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Happy holidays, I guess, yeah.
See you in January.
Stay safe and healthy.
Yes, indeed.